Bertrand, Nick Ponte, and Michael O'Connell. First, we're going to have questions for the student athletes after an opening statement from Coach. Then we'll dismiss the student athletes back to the locker room and open it up for questions from Coach. Coach Morgan.
Yeah, to be here next to these guys, obviously, part of the reason why we wanted a lot of guys like them that are vets. It just held us together throughout the season. You don't see it from the outside, but we had a lot of adversity early on and just fighting complacency, fighting, injuries, developing captains and leaders. We're such a young team. I mean, Mike's the only true senior that will be back next year that stepped on the field today. So, it was a rough go, and our guys, we talked about trust in pregame, and they did. They trusted, us as a staff, they trusted these guys as leaders. And, when you go through what we went through and had to lose some tough games, come back, and then go on the road as, the 6 seed and go beat, teams that are rivals, and then Mercer, who's obviously tough at home, and then to come here and avenge 2017. I mean, it's definitely a sweet ending, and these guys wrote their story. I think that's what it comes down to, and it's one of those things that there's only been 5 teams that have gone back to back in Division II. So for us and these guys, it's certainly impressive.
Questions for the student athletes? Go here.
This question's for Charlie. The offense late in the second quarter when you guys went on that run, can you talk a little bit about sort of the fluidity and what you guys were seeing there?
Yeah, I mean, Davis has come a long way this whole season. He picked it up in the second quarter, Cronin there at the face-offs, and he got us the ball. And when we get touches, we find a lot of different looks, and we're attacking from a lot of different places and really keeping the defense on their heels and just sharing the ball, playing as a team like we have all year. So really opened up in the second quarter.
Here.
For Michael, you guys obviously as a program now are moving on to D1. How, if at all, did the urgency or maybe kind of impetus of that last game in D2, did that play a role today, maybe kind of motivating some things for you guys? If so, yes. If not, why?
I don't really think it changed too much for us. We played a very high caliber. We're a very talented team, I think, top to bottom. Bottom of the roster, pushed to the top of the roster, and I think we kind of embraced that. It was the last game in Division II for myself as a senior, but also the rest of the team. It's our last time to get back at Lemoyne and Adelphi, the team kind of that beat us in the regular season, avenge our losses to them, and then thank you. And then kind of just end on a high note for Division II, and then move on to Division I. I know these guys are going to do great things next year. Coach Morgan has a great foundation for what he expects as a team, and I think it's at a D1 level, so I think the transition is going to be very smooth for the team next year.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Thank you, gentlemen. We'll take one last one here in the front. For Charlie, you guys are up 10-7 now, that 4-goal run by Limestone that closed out the third quarter, and then you just scored 2 goals to kind of start that run by you guys in the fourth quarter. Just take me through that to the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, the story of this team the whole year is just that we've been battling adversity. We've gone through a lot of stuff that's built us as a team. So when that Limestone went on that run, we knew we had to just do the same thing we've been doing, just stick to what makes us good and play as a team, play together, just like we did in the couple of NCAA games. If you go down a few goals, you just keep playing. You don't want to go out of your role.
Final question there. Mike in the back.
For Nick, kind of along the same lines, just what was the attitude or kind of the mood when they went on their run, and what did you feel like pulled you guys out of that?
I mean, Lacrosse kind of game runs for us, and we know, talk about all the time, weathering the storm. So we're going to get scored on. It's going to happen. It's Lacrosse, and we know we just got to grind it out, and then the offense is going to take care of the rest of it once we get chucking the ball. So that's really all I got for that.
Thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks.
Questions for Coach Morgan? We'll start right here.
At the end of the game,
Just wait for the microphone, sir. Thank you.
At the end of the game, Thomas kind of ran with the ball, and while everyone ran over the corner, he ran to the sideline. Did he give you the ball? What happened there?
Yeah, the Thomas brothers has become a tradition. They somehow always have the ball at the end of these big games. So, Christian came running over, and he handed me the ball, and it's like it just, it symbolizes. I mean, the end of Division II. The end of this run, and we obviously going to D1 have. Great opportunities, and we're optimistic about that and new challenges. But yeah, he had the ball and run it out instead of throwing it in the air. He ran it over to make sure we had it. So yeah, those guys, the fact they always have the ball in those spots is important because they're both mentally and physically tough. We want them closing it out.
You have it still?
I have it in my bag. Yeah, it'll be on the desk in some sort of case, I'm sure. Right here in the back.
2 years ago against these guys, face-offs were a big factor in the other direction. Can you just talk about how important the play of Davis was to keep the possession for you guys?
Yeah, Davis was awesome. He's been a guy that, it's funny, he's almost a microcosm of our team. You know, he kind of started slow, was trying to find his confidence, and went through a little adversities here and there. He got injured, and then all of a sudden, when he got going, you see what he can do. I mean, the kid's great, and he's incredible. And I think it kind of just is in line with our season, you know. And I think he's a guy that, you know, coming in here, you know, it's going to be a tight game if you can have the face-off battle. It was, what do we got? It was, yeah, I mean, 18 to 27. I mean, that's a monster day. I mean, it's about where I thought he'd be, but probably even a little better. So, yeah, to get that offense the ball, and then, you know, to keep Limestone's offense off the field as much as possible. I mean, I thought our defense was incredible today as well, and, you know, that's a really good offense, you know. So I think you got to win the middle of the field, you know, win face-offs to maximize your potential on offense and keep it out of their hands.
Right here in front.
Coach, you had 8 guys score in this game. You have 7 guys on your roster with 20 goals or more, 9 guys with double-digit point totals. Talk a little bit about the depth of this team and how that helped you get here.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing we've seen is we have a lot of depth, and you know, and guys that have been sitting behind, you know, the middies from last year, and some of the other guys have now started to show themselves. I thought Tyler had a good game. You saw Drew Haley with a big shot. I mean, these are, you know, Max Morrill had a great feed early. I mean, these guys are freshmen, they're 18 years old, you know, and they're out there. It almost sounds like last year's press conference when I was talking about Christian and Sean and those guys, and even Charlie. But they're fearless. I think they feed off the confidence of the leaders. They went out there and, you know, we're sharing the ball and everybody's scoring. You know, Chuck gets a lot of press as he should, you know, but, you know, it's a special group. When they play together, they're tough to stop. Right here, blue shirt.
Coach, with the expansion of the D2 tournament to 12 teams in a different year, you guys might not have even gotten in.
Yep.
So kind of mindful of that and the road traveled with going to Lemoyne and all the other places. How did that really fuel this year's run? Mindful of just exactly that there was the 6th seed in the North, and I mean, I'm not one to say whether that's deserving or not, but
Sure.
I imagine it factored in.
Yeah, I mean, when, you know, I thought we had a good resume, and, you know, we ended up the 6th, and I think it's probably the best thing that ever happened to us, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, this is a group that I think needs to be challenged, wants to be challenged. I think when they saw the 6th, whether it was deserving or not, you know, their mindset was like, okay, here we go, you know, and I think that's, you know, where the whole 6 train came from and all that, and it kind of took on a life of its own. But, you know, we're at a point now where you go out to Mercyhurst, and I said this to someone the other night, it's weirdly poetic how this thing played out. You go out to Mercyhurst, where we've never played Hurst, and they're one of the top teams, Division II, you know, for the last 25 years. We've just never ran into each other. You know, then your assistant AD is now the AD there as well, so it's kind of a weird circumstance. Then you go down to Adelphi, we lost by 9, you know, to go avenge that with one of your 2 rivals in the conference. And then you got to go up to Lemoyne, you know, we split with 1 goal wins each regular season, and then the conference tournament, and then we go there, we beat our other rival, you know, on a wild last 25 seconds to win an OT to come here. And then you get to avenge 2017 on a team that beat you, you know, so it's just a really weirdly poetic road. And I think it's just, I said to guys before, you know, like we said, right, you guys are writing the story, this is the end. So again, you know, you write it how you want. They did. So this season will go down to something special. Last year was, a lot of things broke our way last year. So I think, not that it was sweet, but when you win by kind of what we won by last year and things broke your way, you know, it's the first time, so you're excited. But I felt like we earned this year, like really earned this year. So these guys, you know, they didn't quit from day one. We were tough on them, really tough on them. I think they just kept plugging along, like these guys said, and here we are.
Any final questions? Right here in front. Coach, congrats again. You got that nice little shiny trophy right to the left of you, but as you guys leave Division II, what are some of like your lessons and things you've learned along the way that you might want to take over to Division I in the fall?
Yeah, I mean, we've always been built on, you know, hard work, selflessness, confidence. I mean, our guys and our staff are all very much that. And I think, you know, our level is very much middle high Division I believe already. So for us, I don't think we're really changing much in terms of like the structure, but I think the qualities of what made us good in Division II will certainly be what make us good in Division I. I think you have to have guys that are bought into what you're doing, you know, bought into loving the program and the school and being hardworking. And that doesn't change Division I. You're seeing better competition, you know, from most of your games, you know, compared to this year. But for us, I think it's knowing you got to work, you got to grind. You know, we got a team that just grinded their way all the way to national championships, a 6 seed, you know, went on the road, you know, I mean, 4 times. We count today as a road, you know. So it's like at the end of the day, you know, we've been running this thing probably for the last maybe 8 or 9 years, I think, with a very Division I model. So for us, you know, it's taking the good qualities of D2, but also knowing that, you know, there's some opportunities to move to D1 with, you know, the type of teams we're playing and obviously the publicity and whatnot.
Thanks, Coach. Congratulations.